Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Sokkanatha Venba, verse number 70. The verse goes this way. Mogam karaiya, muzhudum malam karaiya, agam karaiya, arivananda mogamai, பூரணமாய் எங்கெங்கும் பொங்கி எழ விழித்த ஆரணனே சொக்கநாதா. Today's verse, if you look at the meaning, it resonates with few other verses that was already part of our discussion. The reason behind this is whenever our gurus, all our gurus, when you talk about Tirumurai also, you will see the same pattern. These are not, they don't sit in a place and then they decide that they want to write a poetry and then they write it, right? That is not the approach. Rather, during their daily prayers, whatever was given as an experience, whatever our gurus had gone through as an experience, that is what they are trying to write it as a verse in order to help people like us in getting salvation. So that is why we would see quite a lot of verses resonating almost similar meanings. Today's verse is also one such kind. This is a prayer song. Every day we need to request Lord Siva for this. Let's look at it. The first line talks about, basically this is as I was mentioning earlier, it is a request that we are putting at the lotus feet of Lord Siva. So first thing first is, we want him or Lord Siva to completely eradicate all the attachments that we have. Attachments that make us a bit of, delusion. Whichever gives us a delusion, Lord Siva has to remove that. Then there are three malas that we talk about, the entanglements, which is Anavam, Kannam and Maya. Out of all the three, the most dangerous one is Anavam. So Lord Siva has to help in completely eradicating this ignorance, which is what we call it as Anavam. Once we get rid of Anavam, once we get rid of all the entanglements, obviously we will get into a state where we are not going to be born again. So which means we are not going to come into this plane again. And who is capable of giving this boon? Only one person, who is in the form of Sattu Sittu Anandam. In short, we call him as Satchidanandam. Satchidanandam is someone who is omnipotent, someone who is omnipresent, the highest level of intellect, and at the same time, he is full of bliss. What he needs to bestow us with is, basically he needs to give his blessings in such a way that not even 1 nanosecond we are going to be away from his grace. We need to be constantly under his radar in such a way that we are always going to be in that blissful state. Once we are blessed with that, then we will not get into this birth and death vicious cycle. That is what the meaning of verse number 70 is all about. The way how our Guru is addressing Lord Siva is Arana Sokkanatha. Arana means Vedas, which literally means Lord Siva is Vedas himself. He is also the meaning behind the Vedas. And when you chant the Vedas, you get a bliss. That bliss is also Lord Siva, who is in Madurai, known as Sokkanatha. This is what verse number 70 is all about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam.